We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
and I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2023, and today we are talking about, well, let's walk through how we choose where we buy real estate this year in 2024. It's one of the top five questions we got. How do I know where to buy property? What's the difference between central Michigan, central Wisconsin, Maine, Florida? What do I do? Where do I look? So we're going to break that down, deconstruct it today. Hopefully have a little bit of fun with it. We'll see what color Jill's nails end up by the end of this episode. But in all reality, all kidding aside, where you choose to send mail and buy and sell property really, really matters. You do not want to do it in a place that there's just nothing going on.
And sometimes,
Or
what
there's
about
too
too
much
hot?
going on.
I'm
Yeah.
just going to say, too, that's my thoughts on it. Like, there's places that you don't want to buy any property. It doesn't matter if it's land or houses or commercial property. We do it all, when it's not moving, like, duh. And then the other side of it is, what if it's really hot? Like, I'm going to pick that, it was Austin a while back. They're really on fire. I'm going to do that. I don't want to swim in that pool, too. And I'm not going to get in a bidding war, when I'm buying property. That's the last thing I'm going to do. And I always say that, too. When I make those calls and I get people and they're like, well, you're one of 3 offers. I'm like, well, now I'm one of 2. Call me if nobody pans out. And sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
But if that happens, I'd be like, no, I'm not interested. Have a good day. You guys can all argue about it yourselves. I'm not going to, reset the market and whatever it is.
We've been doing this for 30 years. Jill and I have been doing it together for 15 years, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been teaching for almost 10. And you hear me say all the time, you hear Jill say, just make my phone ring and I'll put some stuff together.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, this episode is about the stuff that I do long before that seller picks up the phone to call Jill to see if she can put a deal together.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's a lot of things that go that happen in my dark, cold office before Jill's magic happens. So, and we talk a lot about Jill lately and how she's creates these real estate deals, but this is a prelude, so to speak, to what goes on.
It's Oz. This is what goes on. This is Oz behind the curtain.
It's a prequel. It's so, with movies today, everything's done in 3s. They make 3 movies, and one of them's a prequel, and it's stuff that happened, a side story.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
And hopefully they take off and do well. Kevin Costner's not doing so well. Just kidding.
Each week on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum, and we take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular request from our Land Academy community. That's you. Let's take a question, Joe.
Okay. Zane and Tara wrote, we are under contract for a lived-in but not great shape old mobile home on a half-acre lot that also has a shop on it. The lots are being sold together but have 2 APNs, and the total acreage is half an acre. It's in town and has all the utilities hooked up. The owner is moving out this weekend and will not be returning. We have only bought rural vacant land. So this is really out of our wheelhouse. Can anyone advise me the pitfalls, issues to be aware of, etc.? I'm treating this like a land deal, but I feel like I need to do more or different due diligence. Thanks for any and all advice. This is so great.
This is fantastic. So before Joe answers the question, because we've done a ton of mobile home deals, and we are always in some process of doing a mobile home deal. We love mobile home deals. I have to say, congratulations. I know for a fact that as we move forward as real estate investors, all of us, we need to diversify in product type. Mm-hmm. Once you have the stuff down, which these two seem to have down, the mechanics of sending a mailer out, how to choose a place, how to send the mail, and how to answer the phone and create your own real estate deal, that's the time to take a look at your land line of business and create maybe a mobile home line of business, and then create single family residence and condos and all of that stuff. So that's what Jill and I have spent a tremendous amount of time talking about. Where's Land Academy going to go? This is you're doing it. You're taking the skills that you've learned, practice them on rural vacant land, and now you're expanding.
Correct. So what do we do different? Well, one of the good things I picked up on is we have utilities and the person's living there. So we know that it's tenantable. This is all great information. I'm wondering if you have pictures. The first thing I would do too, like right now while I'm in escrow, which they're under contract, I would have eyes on it. I would have a local realtor going out there, taking a look at it, telling me what they think they can, not me telling them, what they think they can sell it for, and let's say a reasonable, 60, 90-day period. And the condition of it, have them get some pictures. And if I don't like the pictures or they're not that great, then I'll send somebody else out, send my own photographer out just to get eyes on it. And I do all this while it's in escrow, so because I can change my mind. I don't have it yet, but I want it locked in because it's a good enough deal. It's going to take a couple weeks, and you get all this done in 1 week.
Yep.
And then decide if you want to move forward or not. And then you're going to have a real good feeling for the pricing. By the time that's done, you've got pictures of it. You know what the conditions is. You've seen it with the pictures, right? And the video, the drone video and inside video, whatever you can get done. And you have a good estimate, broker's opinion, basically, from an agent. And then
Did you talk about inspection?
I didn't get to that yet.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. But then so once that's because that comes next. Once I even have that, like I like to do this first before I even order an inspection, because then I'm outlaying even more money. So now I'm going to go and get an official inspection, and a right agent will point you in the right direction of, yeah, this is the guy to call. Everybody uses him in town. He costs $275. He can get it done tomorrow afternoon, kind of thing. And that's what you're going to do. And then you really have all your answers. And then what do you want to add?
No, that's all correct.
Okay.
There's a separate checklist for purchasing mobile homes and one for houses that we talk about in Career Path. Jill and I teach an advanced class called Career Path. I think it's coming up this October. Go to landacademy.com for the details, and we talk in very much detail about the order of things, the order of due diligence. It's a little bit different than land. But I'll tell you, if you do everything correctly, it will sell very quickly. What you're doing here for everybody, you and everybody, is giving yourself a lot of options on the sell side. So the property, you're going to find out as much as you can about this property without going to see it. It might be way worse than you think. You're going to get pictures and all the stuff in an inspection, like Jill said. You're going to find out a bunch of stuff, and there possibly you're going to miss some things. That's how real estate is if you don't go see it. You want to make sure that property is priced so you have lots of options. And the
Correct.
best case scenario is that you just resell it as a piece of vacant land and still make money because it's priced so well. And the bonus is it's got a mobile home on it
And
that
a shop.
you can use. Yeah.
I wonder what they mean by shop. Is it like workshop, or like he was selling jewelry out of
It's
it?
not a dress shop.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, so that's now I feel a little bit better because it was in town. I'm like, was a guy a potter too? Was it a blacksmith shop in the front and he lived in the back? I don't know.
You know what? It's in town. I could be wrong.
That's what I'm
mobile home and
assuming.
a dress shop.
There we go. Could be a barber shop. We're gonna say barber shop. It's a home in his own barber shop. So how great is this? But yeah, make sure. I like what you said. Make sure the math works so well that you have a lot of options. Meaning you're buying it for it really is a quarter and a third still to what it's really worth as a mobile home.
Look, we talk about again in your options like this in Career Path. You can buy it and rent it. Somebody's living in it right now, so it can't be that bad. I mean, it could, and you'll find out with pictures and things like that. But I doubt it, especially if there's a dress shop attached. You can rent it out. You could buy it to somebody who rents it and then sell it to somebody who does rent property out like that. So this is not a vacant piece of land. Buying it and reselling it with land is kind of one exit strategy, one option. This has multiple options. So you're setting yourself up to seriously succeed here. Plus, it's got an extra APN. Hopefully
If you
that's
want
being
us.
unused so that it's not, the property might be built on the center of the two APNs, or hopefully it's just built on one and you can resell the APN separately.
Mm-hmm.
Great work, guys.
Yay.
I chose this on purpose, this question, because you should celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
Please do 100 of these,
Yeah.
as many as you can. I remember the first mobile home deal you and I did, and I remember us looking at each other going, saying, we got to do 500 of these a year.
Which one was it?
It was the one in northern Arizona that we use as an example in the
South of the freeway.
buy for 5,000, sell for 35,000. Tenantable guy. There was a gun case in it.
Is that
Or
the one
gun-
that we looked at that you could see from the
No.
freeway kind of thing? Not that one?
No, it was
Okay.
in Mojave County.
Okay.
Today's topic, let's walk through how we choose where we buy real estate this year in 2024. So I want you to clear your mind, and I want you to think about how you have used Zillow or Realtor.com or Redfin.com in the past, and maybe you haven't. So I'm going to start fresh like you've never, ever used it. Go to Zillow.com and log in and type in a destination. Doesn't matter. I always use Los Angeles as the starting place to review the entire country for acquisition possibilities, because it might be the worst place to buy property in the city of Los Angeles. So we start with the worst, and it only gets better. Then I want you to start changing your
Good
parameters.
concept.
Don't do this in marriage. Start with the best and keep it that way.
Yeah.
So now you're looking at, in Zillow, every single piece of property in Los Angeles that is for sale. Thousands and thousands of properties. There could be office buildings in there. There could be rural land in there or vacant land, houses, condos, all of it. We don't want all that stuff. We only want to look at places where we can target property that we want to buy and resell. And what we're really looking for is places that property sells quickly in a certain specific criteria. So I want you to choose houses only. I want you to choose three bedrooms or more, 2 bedrooms or more. And I would like you, just for fun, to type in between $100,000 price and $600,000 price. So low end's $100,000, top end $600,000, and then the other parameters that I said. And what you'll see is now you've gone from thousands and thousands of properties that are for sale to maybe hundreds, probably less than 1,000 in the entire Los Angeles area. And then make sure that you have removed any type of geography criteria. So now it'll say remove the lines, or click on
Remove boundaries?
Yeah, remove boundary lines. And so now you're looking at the whole part of Southern California, and you're going to start to move your mouse around, or all over the country. Start on the western part of the coast, go up and down, maybe through Oregon, through Washington, and you're going to see clusters of property where there's a lot. And the beauty there's way more properties, let's say in Portland, Oregon, than there are maybe 4 or 5 inches to the right, to the east. So, but you will see little clusters. And you'll start to see places that there's properties that are available. There's a lot of properties in some areas that fit your criteria, and there's no properties in some areas that fit your criteria at all. Now click sold properties. The for sale properties are red, the sold properties are yellow. In an ideal world, you want to see property about 1 to 2 times the number of properties that are yellow, sold properties, versus red. You want to see more sold properties than active properties. Why? Because that indicates an active market. One property goes up for sale and it gets sold. It's for every one. There's 2 properties that get sold for every 1 property that gets listed. That's the market you want to be in. Does that make sense?
Yep, 2 to 1. You want to see 2 to 1 double sold than there are active right now. Did you say sold in what time frame?
So, no, I didn't. And thank you
Okay.
for reminding me. I usually default the time on Zillow to 12 months. Jill, it gets a little more aggressive, as she should, and she likes to see it maybe in 30 to 60 to 90 days.
I'll play with all of them. I'll toggle back and forth just to see. Yeah.
At some point, you're going to come to a place where you have a light bulb go off over your head, and you find a market that's 900 properties have been sold, or 90 properties have been sold, and 30 are active, and they're right within that acquisition criteria. For you, you might not want $600,000 top side. You might want only 300,000. If you're a rural, if you like rural markets like we do, and not super urban markets, then maybe it's 300,000, 100,000 to 300,000. What this tells you, in a very, and it's fun, by the way, in a very small amount of time, is that if you buy a property for $100,000 less than what you're searching for in this exercise, and it's in okay shape, you're going to sell it fast.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting with our exit. I want to know if I'm going to go through all the trouble of creating a mailer and making Jill's phone ring, and she's going to talk and create these real estate deals,
Mm-hmm.
that I can sell that freaking piece of property quick.
Is it worth it?
And I can predict, not even predict, but have almost crystal ball like uh, intelligence on what the outcome's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how we pick markets.
It's fun when you dig in and you look at them. You could start, so you settle on an area and you spend a little time there. You're like, okay, this is the little bubble. Wow. All right, now I'm going to dig in. Now I'm going to look at some of these listings. Let's see what's active. Let's see how many days they've been active. Have they done any price reductions? You know, what's going on? And then toggle to the sold. Like, okay, look at all these sold comps. Sort them maybe by the price. You sort by lowest to highest often. Sometimes I play with it and sort by the most recent. What just recently sold, and start to look at those and go, wow, look at all these, everything looks like, everything 5 to 10 acres listed in the last, 6 months, sold within 2 months. As long as they were this size and this price range.
So what Jill's saying is she's adjusting her acquisition criteria to the reality of these markets.
What the people want.
In Eastern Oregon, let's say, there will be some sweet spot for what sells quickly.
Yep.
And there will be a spot where it's what we're trying to do is a round peg square hole. I'm trying to do this, fit my acquisition criteria into Eastern Oregon. It doesn't fit.
Right.
But there is a type of property to buy in Eastern Oregon in the XYZ zip code that works.
Oh, so then because you're now like, say I love this area, but something's not working, so you start playing with it. Like, well, maybe it's got to be the price, maybe it's the size, maybe it's the price, something like that.
Yep. Maybe it's
might change the outcome.
And maybe in these zip codes that you're trying to make work, there's just no activity.
That
for
could
whatever
be
reason,
too.
there's just no demand.
That could be.
So nobody wants to live there, or for whatever reason, that's
So
just
you
how it
move
is.
on the page.
So assessing these markets, this is
Yeah.
free,
Mhm.
okay? And if you're a Man Academy member or not, please go out and do this exercise.
We call this trolling. Can I say
this? This is what we call trolling.
This is Jack calls us trolling. Just sitting and looking and trying to figure out what might be a good area.
Yep. From there, we have an idea of a market that might work. And so now what we do is we take the data, we identify the market as, let's say, 4, 5, or 8, usually contiguous zip codes. And we take the data that's available to confirm or deny our suspicion. Our suspicion is that this market works for the criteria that we've chosen. Great. We dig up the data and look at it, each one of the zip codes, and you can see, the days on market for this zip code are 90. That's not that exciting. The days on market for the other 2 zip codes that are adjacent surrounding it are 30. I like 30 better than I want to sell it faster, not slower. Also, there's something's really wrong with one of these zip codes, because the properties, not only are the days on market very long, but there's too many properties for sale. This is what the red green, we go from the trolling to confirming with the red green yellow test whether or not these zip codes really, if we actually do mail it and get property for the prices how we're pricing it, then it's a data confirmation of a suspicion or a theory. From there, we build mailers and we send out the mail and price it correctly. That's how we find property.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we find markets, where we know we're very educated, serious educated guess about what the outcome is going to be and what the exit.
That's the best part of this. When I talk to people, and they're thinking about joining Land Academy and they're asking questions, when they learn the data behind every single decision that we make and how smart this group is under your direction, it started with you. They're like, oh, well, then this is a no-brainer. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Because if it doesn't pass all these tests, everything that he's talking about, the trolling, and he takes it to all these other levels to make sure we're making some good decisions before we even just send out the mail. I mean, that's huge. We're not going to waste our money, not going to waste our time. We're going to make sure that it's great. And if it's not, we pick another area that is good. And they're always changing. That's the thing, too. You think, oh, well, I'm going to spend 10 years doing Nashville. You know what? It might cool down. I think it has cooled down.
That's possible.
And you have to be watching around and doing this all the time for new things that are going to pop up. It's great.
We take a hardcore data scientific approach to buying and selling real estate.
Yes.
This works with land, it works with houses, it works with condominiums in more urban markets. Townhouses certainly works for mobile homes in all markets, and it works to some degree with commercial real estate.
This is great. What we don't do is trust word of mouth, brother-in-law, psychic beings.
Psychic. We don't drive
Psychic.
for dollars either.
We don't drive for dollars. This is good. We don't throw a dart. This is awesome. Let's list all the ways that we don't look for places to mail. I just gave 5. Trust family members. Oh, this is great. Oh, reading the paper and trusting that, or the news. The news might say this is a new up and coming area, so that's where I'm going to send my mail. No, you need to make these really good, strategic, data driven, check your stuff decisions.
There used to be all these crazy concepts out there when I started, like the buying the path of growth. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Imagine a railroad. So there's about a handful of people in the country that know where the railroad's going to be developed because it's 1882. And they start buying up all the land because they know the railroad's going to be there. So they have inside information, and they're buying in the path of growth.
Right.
And so old timers back when I started this in the 80s and 90s were path of growth. I think their grandparents told them.
I've bought property from people who bought it in the 60s that thought that it was the path of growth was going, and it wasn't. And so then they're selling me their property 40 years later for real and more, going, shucks. I guess it's time to unload this. It's not happening. No, it's not going to happen.
We don't guess here.
Yeah.
We don't guess. We don't estimate.
Yeah.
We really look at the data and make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Jill and I have been doing this for years. And it's no secret that if you go out on the internet, there's all kinds of people that claim that they can instruct you on how to do this. And they won't be around for long. But I say this, just please choose carefully about where you learn how to do this, because these groups are largely regurgitating what we say, mostly incorrectly. And I don't want you to learn the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. Look, you and I have been doing this together full time for 15 years. Land Academy's going on 10 years now, and you were doing it for, 10, 15 years before me.
Yeah.
So we can truly say we have, with just you, 3 decades of a full-time investor. If we can make it for 3 decades, I think we can properly help you and show you how to do it too.
We don't have the cutest software, I'll tell you that. We don't, and never will. That's not why we're here. We're here to create business partners for ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're here to teach you instruct the basic foundations of how to find undervalued real estate.
This is good.
Create a real estate deal for yourself, and create, in turn, create equity. And we'll get through the deal with you in certain cases, or somebody else in Land Academy will. Mm-hmm. So please choose carefully. Can I ask you this question? I'm going to ask you some questions. Does this work? What if I'm not just doing land, I'm doing houses or apartments or something? Would I do the same things? So the answer is basically yes. Okay. There are a lot of caveats, like you heard in the question today about, great, I bought and sold land this way, and thanks, it works. But I'm buying a mobile home now. What's different about it? And so then the answer is there's due diligence steps that are different. The asset itself, when you think about buying and selling a piece of land, there's not that much you really have to look at. Isn't it a good location? Is it priced right?
Access.
Is it buildable? In some cases, not all. You don't necessarily need to see it, which has triggered. That's what's triggered the largely because of almost all because of Jill and I and Land Academy. That's what's triggered such a universal interest in this from people who want to get into real estate but have never done this, beginners,
Mm-hmm.
because they have the perception that it's easy and you can sit at your desk and do it. And for the most part, if you know what you're doing and you learn correctly, that's true. You
Yeah.
can. With mobile homes and houses and condos and townhouses, there's a lot of other things that are involved. And while they're much easier to sell, you do not want to buy them incorrectly.
True.
You want to know exactly what you're buying, what that asset has any flaws or anything else like that.
And we'll help you with all that.
Yeah, that's what Career Path teaches,
And our other programs too.
and Academy is evolving into a full, well-rounded real estate investor.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that because that's what Joe and I have always been. We've been buying and selling houses and mobile homes and all this stuff together
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of years. We've just been talking about land, but we've decided we're getting older. It's time to share it all. Jill, do you have something inspirational to share?
I was going to just take a moment and talk about how proud I am of the individuals that we have. We just launched. Okay, this airs in September. So it launched in August. Yes, it launched in August. First time we've ever had a fully official one-on-one personal coaching program. And I have a handful of people. We're just kind of slowly getting it up and rolling. And I'm personally handling the coaching right now while I can, because I want to make sure everybody gets what they need going forward. But I want to just compliment, and I want to just share with everyone that these I have all different extremes. I have people that have done career path, but they still need some things going to get them going. I have right in the middle, like they've done 40, 50 deals. They're working on taking it to the next level, and then I have shucks, brand new right out of the gate. So I'm so proud of all of them because the main thing is they know who they are. They all voluntarily said, I know I need help. I'm just that kind of a person. So it doesn't matter if you're doing all these deals, you're in the middle, or you're just brand new. They were smart enough to know who they are and know their weaknesses and know that I really want to do this right. I know if I don't have the attention that I need to get through these little hurdles, maybe it's even motivational, or maybe it's even some of the stuff we talk about is motivational, like you have to do this. I'm going to help you make a calendar. Like, and we really did that.
Wow,
Seriously.
that's good, Joe.
To, and how to organize your time kind of thing, to hey, I need help setting up some of the technical things. What do you think about this? And then real high level, like I have a team. I've got a person that has a team of 4 people, and making sure that the 4 people are doing what they should be working on, and it's the most efficient. And then she's doing what she should be working on, making it most efficient. But my point is, I'm so proud of them because they all took a step back to think about who they really are and admitted to themselves, I'm going to need coaching. I'm going to need some hand holding if I'm going to get this to the level where I want it to go. I think it's the greatest thing. So whatever you're going to do, whatever you're going to start, I hope that you take a moment to and know who you are. I'm personally not that kind of a person. I love being on the other end of it. But for me, I'm like out of my way. I'm going to run through everything and figure it out. That's just kind of how I am. And then maybe later I'll go, how did I do? Kind of thing. But I really don't need to, because whatever it was, I figured it out kind of thing. But so know who you are. And if you're that kind of person that wants help, needs help, it's there. If you're not, just put your head down and go.
Yep.
And no way's wrong. We all want you to get where you want to be. There's a lot of opportunity out there right now. There really is. I love all the stuff it's so interesting that everything's pivoted to online. What was that funny sticker you saw the other day? It was a YouTube
YouTube certified mechanic.
Yes, I love that. I'm like, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of true. I mean, there's silly things that I might be looking up that You know, the blind. We have an issue with our blinds in our rig,
Yep.
and I'm 5 minutes. So I know you already did it. You know, like watching a video. Like, how do we hang these things back up here? Kind of. You know, with this little piece. It's funny.
You can be a YouTube certified land investor.
You could. You really could.
It's going to take you about 4.5 years.
That would be the long way. That's true. Hey, it's better than the 10 years it used to take everybody just really not knowing anything and not having YouTube. So it's better. It used to be 10 years. Now it's YouTube 4 years or Land Academy 6 months to a year. How's that? To really get you going. So thank you. What about you? What do you want to share today?
I would love for our audience to take away this. Please seriously consider buying and selling lots of different types of real estate. The mechanics are the same. If you understand the mail and understand follow-up with texting and email, all the stuff that we teach, then you will have a serious amount of success. Well, you will have triple the amount of success if you're just using one real estate type. Please consider buying all of those things and get educated on how what the small caveats and differences are.
Now, for the three of you that have been with us for the whole 9 years, you're going, whoa, 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 whoa. Jack and Jill, did you not tell me to pick an acquisition criteria and stay with it? It sounds like you're totally telling me the opposite right now. To which you say,
no, I'd stick with your acquisition criteria for land, stick with it for houses, create it and stick with it for mobile homes. No, add a product line. That's not. I'm not saying if you want to go buy marinas, that's great, or golf courses, then go.
I've got some for you.
I don't want you to be a scatterbrain and say, "Oh, I'll buy it all."
There you go. Yeah.
I'll buy it all. Whatever comes my way, I'll look at it. That's a waste of time.
There you
go through the motions. The
Land
Academy way of establishing an acquisition criteria, sending the mail out, receiving the calls, choosing the ones you want, and buying them.
There you go.
That's adding. You have an acquisition criteria, then add another acquisition criteria and stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's clear.
Thank you.
Join us next Wednesday for another interesting episode. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.